What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today we are here to talk about the upcoming treasure map against Nami and Sanji, which is obviously going to be quite an interesting one because I know a lot of people are coming back into the game, and for those people who have never played a treasure map before, or those people that are just coming back to the game and haven't played a treasure map in a long time, you guys are not going to really need to worry as much for this video. Obviously you need to watch it so you can understand what each of the bosses do. However, with this new update that's going to be dropping on global, you can actually see the boss mechanics inside the game now, which is really cool. And obviously if you are just getting into the game, you're going to be in the bronze league, which means that you only need one team that can verse all of the bosses. You don't really have to worry about it because the bosses are extremely weak. Whereas if you're in the silver league or if you're in the gold league, you do still need a different team for every single boss fight. So that is what this video is aiming to do. We're going to be building full free-to-play teams that can take on all of these bosses, so make sure to stick around for that. And of course we're going to go through the brand new unit that we're all going to be farming for, which is the brand new dual unit Nami and Sanji. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So before we get into the boss fights, let's talk about the brand new free-to-play character that we're all going to be farming up, Nami and Sanji, which is a brand new dual unit. Nami is a Dex character, whereas Sanji is a Psi character, and then when they're in their combined form, they are considered free spirit and fighters. Now, they have 60 cost, 5 socket spots, pretty stock standard, but their dual captain effect is going to be a 4 times attack boost to free spirit, and they're also going to give you a 1.2 times recovery boost, and also have a really cool effect where when they're set as the captain, they resist 2 turns of special reverse, which is pretty cool. You don't really see that too often, so it's really nice to have. And their special ability on a 13 turn max cooldown after their limit break is going to reduce special bind by 5 turns, and they do have the sailor effect to resist that, which is great. And they also remove all duration of stun as well, which is the first character in the game to actually do that. And then they also provide a 2 times orb boost to fighters and free spirit characters as well. So pretty decent utility and an orb boost all in one. Pretty solid unit overall. And of course, with them being dual units, they do have a very cool switch effect, which states that when you do switch between Nami and Sanji, they will go ahead and change free spirit and fighter characters' badly matching slots into matching. So that's a pretty cool effect. I don't know how useful that's actually going to be, but just having a unique effect where you can switch and generate, negative into positive is actually pretty cool. So, overall, that's the basic breakdown of the brand new Nami and Sanji character. So now we're getting into the boss fights here. The first battle is the Intrusion battle. Now remember, if you are in the Silver League or if you are in the Gold League, you can actually use whatever units you want in the Intrusion battle, and they will not overlap with the other characters that you use in the Battle Rush bosses or the final boss, which is great. Now, Sabo is the mini-boss on stage 2. He's an int character, he has 1,000,000 health, and he will have a preemptive of having delay immunity. He also will have 5 turns of paralysis gets inflicted to all of your crewmates, and also inflicts 5 turns of blindness, or the remove SFX effect, and then also will give you a full board of empty orbs. So lots of different mechanics you have to take into consideration here. And remove SFX isn't a debuff you have to get rid of, but getting rid of that does make it a lot easier to clear the content for sure. And then we move on to stage 3, which is Monkey D. Luffy, which has 2,000,000 health. So it's actually quite a lot of health for an Intrusion battle boss. And his preemptive is a full immunity buff, 98 turns. He also inflicts 5 turns of attack down to your crew and 5 turns of chain coefficient reduction. So you definitely want to be bringing a chain locker, which will make your life a whole lot easier there. And then also 1 turn of special reverse is inflicted to your entire team. So once you do max out this brand new Nami and Sanji character, you could potentially use them as a captain, just completely get rid of the special reverse. However, another good character that's going to help you here is, just any of the other really powerful characters that have been released recently. V3 Boa Hancock is a really good unit too, so there are really powerful units that you could potentially use in this situation. And then also all of your crew slots are going to be changed into block orbs, so definitely V3 Boa Hancock is going to be a fantastic choice here. And on turn 2 and every second turn, 5 turns of bind are going to be inflicted to one of your crewmates, and below 50% he's going to blow away your captain or friend captain for 2 turns, and it isn't stated here, but below 20% obviously he does a lot of damage. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the free-to-play teams straight after each of these bosses, as it does take, a lot of extra time to fiddle all of these graphics together. So I will be including all of the free-to-play teams at the end of the video, so make sure you go ahead and check that out if you do want a little bit of guidance. Okay, so let's go ahead and start flying through each of these Battle Rush bosses, first of which is Chopper. He is a quick character with only 100,000 health, and his preemptive attack will change all of your orbs into either recovery, tandem, or badly matching slots. and that's all he does. So this chopper is very, very easy to take down, and we'll go through obviously a really good free-to-play team that you can just build very, very easily in order to take him down, but Chopper is the easiest of these Battle Rush bosses this time around. The second Battle Rush boss is against Frankie, who is an int character with 900,000 health, and his preemptive has a delay immunity. He will inflict 5 turns of bind, but only to your middle row, so ensure that if you've got a character that has a special that removes bind, you want them as your captains or as your bottom row characters, so be very careful about that. Also, the characters in your top and bottom row will get empty orbs, and then the characters in your middle row will get tandem slots. So again, you just need like some basic orb manipulation there and a bind remover, and that's basically all you need to get around Frankie very easily. So now moving on to the third boss is against Brook. Brook is an int character with 900,000 health as well. His preemptive has a delay immunity, and he also has a 4-hit good barrier for 2 turns, so that is pretty annoying to deal with. He also will have 5 turns of a chain lock 1.1 times inflicted to your team, 3 turns of special bind inflicted to your team, and then all of your team will get badly matching slots. So Brook does a lot of really nasty things here, but luckily there are a couple of decent units you can bring, like for example Colosseum Law, who gets rid of special bind, or like the free-to-play Flampe that was from the Summer Blitz battle, that free-to-play unit that we're all given. Her special ability can actually get rid of the barrier of the enemy, which is great. So there's actually a pretty good array of characters you can use in order to make your life a whole lot easier for this particular boss fight. And then moving on to the final of these Battle Rush bosses, we have Zoro. Zoro is a quick enemy, and he has 1 million health, and his preemptive attack is a full delay immunity, and then he also has end of turn damage and end of turn recovery, and then he also inflicts 8 turns of paralysis to your entire team. Now that does seem quite intimidating, however there is a very good free-to-play character that just released on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global that gets rid of every single one of those debuffs, and that character is Colosseum Orochi. So I really hope you guys have maxed that character out, because he makes your life a whole lot easier for this boss fight, that's for sure. And after turn 2 he increases your damage taken below 20%, death damage is quite bad, but it actually is kind of interesting because this Zoro has 1 million HP for a Battle Rush boss. That's quite significant. A lot of the bosses in this treasure map seem to just have a lot more HP compared to normal treasure maps. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, relatively tanky bosses this time around. And now we make our way to the final boss against Nami and Sanji. On stage 3, you already encounter a mini-boss, which is going to be Nami by herself. Nami is int with 500,000 health, with a preemptive attack of locking all of your slots for 1 turn, and then changing those slots into badly matching. And that's all she does. So she doesn't really do that much. She doesn't have that much HP, but remember her HP does scale with every single navigation level, so you do have to take that into consideration and make sure you keep that in mind, of course. And then after stage 3, you have to encounter Sanji, who has the same amount of health as the Nami. So again, 500,000, and it does go up with every navigation level. And the only thing that this Sanji does is inflict 5 turns of damage reduction to himself. So there is not really much else you really need to know here. He doesn't do anything at any health threshold or any turn threshold. He just has the preemptive attack, and that's all he does. So Sanji, again, is relatively easy to take on. But then once you reach stage 5, that's where you reach the final boss against Nami and Sanji, who is considered an int character with 2 million HP, with a preemptive attack of full immunity buffs, and 5 turns of bind is inflicted to both of your captains, and then 5 turns of defense up is going to be active on the enemy as well. So you definitely need a character to remove their defense, of course. Now, on turn 1, they're going to go ahead and give you 2 turns of paralysis to your captain spots, and then also give you badly matching slots. Below 50%, they give you despair. Below 20%, they bind your entire team for 20 turns and will basically spell the end of your run. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a character that can remove defense and a character that can get rid of bind as well. Very, very important. So now's the point where we can start discussing each of these teams. So of course we have the versus Luffy team, which is, remember, the intrusion battle against Luffy. And remember once again that because it is an intrusion battle, any of the characters that you use in that team are still able to be used in your other 5 teams. So make sure that you do know that. And remember, if you are in the Bronze League, you don't need to build a team for every single fight. You can build one team for all of them, which makes it a lot easier. So with the versus Luffy team, we do have all of these characters here, of course. Now, the main thing here here is we have Buggy to remove paralysis on stage 2, and also we can use either the Flampe or the Ace. So you can use either one of them on either of stage 2 or stage 3 to get your orb boost, which is kind of nice. And the main reason why I wanted Ace on this team is because he has the crewmate ability where if your captain is Free Spirit Powerhouse or another class, then you get rid of blindness completely. So that's pretty useful to have. And then obviously we've got NL to give you the really nice chain effects. You've got Big Mom for the bind removal and just a bunch of other really good stuff. But of course the chain lock for the increased damage. And also you have the Boa Hancock, of course, to give you the super type special with the 2.5 attack boost. It is kind of juicy, of course, so there you go. Now, versus Chopper, with Chopper, he's very easy. Remember, his preemptive attack is just giving you recovery tandem or badly matching slots. You can just use the special ability of the treasure map Luffy to change him into matching, as well as giving you an orb boost. And then if you really need an attack boost as well, but remember, Chopper has like so little health that it doesn't really matter. But if you do need the health, if you do need the extra damage, you can just use treasure map Vivi, double special activation, 2 times attack boost, 2 times orb boost. No problems whatsoever. You can fill out your team with whatever you want. Moving on to versus Frankie, we have essentially just the full Psy free-to-play super type Straw Hat team. It's just super simple by using Nami as a sub there to get rid of the bind in your middle row. Super type Luffy plus the Zoro giving you attack boost, orb boost. And then I've just got Summer putting on that team because she's a 1.35 point booster for additional points. And then the final spot can just be put with whatever you want, really. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but it's a pretty easy team to build. Everyone should have those free-to-play Straw Hats, and if you don't, make sure you get them done because they're just really, really good units. And then moving on to Brook, this is where we're going to be using Colosseum Law to get rid of Special Bind. We have the Flampe to give us an orb boost, as well as removing the barriers on the enemy. And then because of the chain lock that gets inflicted to us, we can go ahead and use the Rumble free-to-play NL to remove the chain lock, and he also gives us a chain boost as well. So with this team, it's pretty good. And again, you have so many free spots to just put whatever you want on the team. So filling out the rest of this team with a really good Ore Manipulator would probably be what I would suggest. And then moving on to the final of the Battle Rush bosses is against Zoro. Now, this team is a little tricky, but remember, Colosseum Orochi is what you want to be using here. Now, ideally, what you want to be using is 6+ Jinbei. If you have 6+ Jinbei, use him as your captain instead. It makes it a lot easier to build a team with. When you don't have Jinbei, it does make it a little bit more difficult to build a cohesive team, because Zoro himself is a quick boss, and then Orochi, like the really good character you want to be bringing, is a strength unit, so it's hard to build a cohesive team with it. But with this team, we've just got the Zoro and Sanji dual unit because they are a Psy and Dex booster, and then of course Orochi's not going to be boosted by that, but we don't really care about that. We're just using him for his really great utility and his special. And then you got Shanks, of course, to give you some matching slots, and then you'd want to be filling out the team with a really good attack booster. I mean, obviously Orochi is an attack booster as well, but Zoro and Sanji won't get that boost if they're in their dual form, so you do have to be very careful about that. So I'd probably suggest maybe like Edward Weevil, for example, might be a decent choice. And then we've got the final team against Nami and Sanji. So the way that this team is going to be working is we've actually got Boa super type once again as the friend captain. She's going to be a really, really good choice here. But what we're going to be doing is because our captain is Free Spirit with that Shanks unit, we can go ahead and use the Kizuna Buggy, where all of those orbs we get from Nami, which are locked for our team, we'll change those into matching, which is great. And then we can just kill Nami pretty simply. And then against the Sanji on stage 4, what we can do is by using Boa's special, we can actually just stall a little bit on Sanji, which is great, as well as enabling our healing to start building up, which will make Boa's captain effect the 5x multiplier. And then from there, after we stall one turn, we can use Komurasaki special twice, which means we get rid of all the Rainbow Shield on Sanji, and we could we could technically just use the Shank special here as well for the chain boost. And then moving on to the final boss stage, what we want to be doing is using the special ability of the Big Mom, which will go ahead and give us the chain lock, which is good. And then we can also go ahead and use the super type of Boa Hancock, which is going to go ahead and give us all the full board of orbs, of course, and give us the attack boost. And then finally, we can go ahead and use the Whitebeard, of course. But then again, you do need to stall one turn for the Whitebeard, because Whitebeard himself is only removing 4 turns of the increased defense of the enemy. So that is a really, really bad thing, unfortunately. You do still have to stall one turn. But then again, if you're going to be using a free-to-play team, you're not going to be lasting until, like, nav level 50 or 60 with this team in particular. And that team will last you still a good amount of time anyways. And because we have 4 more side characters on our team, we will get an orb boost from that. So we go orb boost, chain lock, super type attack boost as well. Like, just all in all, this is a really strong team that should last you a pretty long time in this treasure map. And with that being said, that is going to wrap up this video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.